Off the face-off, the puck goes into the Seton zone. Dixon there to pick it up for the Knights. Whitcup trying to forecheck, goes over on the other side for Buchan moves it to the blue line, out to center ice. Toth picks it up there, steals it away, and dumps it deep in Seton territory. Stopped by Berger, leaves it for his defenseman, stolen away by Massena forward Devin Paquin. Centering pass in front, right across the goal mouth. Good opportunity there, and it just went wide. Here's Paquin again trying to center it, knocked away, and out to center ice it goes, just out across the blue line, stopped by Hall, but he loses it, and it comes to the Massena line where Nick Toth picks it up again. Here's Toth skating right down the middle. Whitcup. Whitcup gathers it in, takes it across right wing side. He's upended on the play, and the puck comes in behind the net, where it's picked up by Joel Saskavich. He'll flip it around on the other side, and the Knights look to break. He intercepted Whitcup. No, that's Michaud rather, and he'll dump it deep as the Raiders want to change. We played just about a minute here in the first period. Foster out there, and we'll pick up the other two. It's going to be Catanzarite on one wing, and who's the other wing? Levine. So that's a different. Played exactly 1 minute in the hockey game. No score on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Faceoff will go to the right of Seton goaltender David Berger. Foster will take the draw. Foster, Levine, and Catanzarite. It'll be Jodwin's line out there. Jodwin, Matt LeClaire, and Thomas Franzon. You might recognize that name, a former Massena minor hockey player. Dr. Olaf Franzon's son, playing for Seton Catholic this year. Off the face-off, puck goes in the corner. Foster after it for Massena, dumps it around the boards behind the net. Racing for it is Gagne, the defenseman. He's checked by Catanzarite. Now coming in to help out is the other defenseman, Brannon. The puck squirts free behind the net. Levine digging for it there. Chris Levine can't come up with it. Brannon does, flips it along the boards. Levine tries to tie him up there. Foster comes in to help out. Jodwin is in there battling for it. It's in the corner. It squirts free, and it's into the right corner now. Coming back to try to pick it up is Franzon. Moves it, doesn't clear the zone. Catanzarite cross-ice pass. Levine shot. He fired it wide. Nice pass by Catanzarite. Levine just couldn't get the handle, and here comes Seton. They got a breakaway. Back the other way. It's LeClaire. Skates in, shot, save. Big save by Dusty DeLille. As the puck squirted out to the neutral zone, and Matt LeClaire just picked it up, got behind the defense, but Dusty DeLille makes the big save and keeps Seton off the scoreboard. Very, very important for the Raiders not to give up an early goal here. And Dusty DeLille comes up with the first big save, and that usually, when Dusty makes a big save early in the game, that usually bodes well for the Red Raiders. We'll see what happens. Derek Rupert out there now. Here's Brandon Hall with a puck behind the net. Trying to poke it free. Rupert comes back to help out. It's knocked away. Here's Hall again. He'll go on the wing. Trying to move it ahead to Thomas Mankies. Mankies gets tied up along the boards. There's a battle for it there. The puck is apparently still free. Still free. Finally, it's Hall coming away from the pack. Here comes Brandon Hall. Nice headman pass. Racing for it is Aaron Ramo. Ramo trying to bust in. He's tied up by Luckin, the defenseman. The puck squirts free in the corner where Thomas Mankies picks it up. Left side of the goalie. He's rubbed off the play. Goes on the other side to Dixon. Dixon flips it along the board. Seton looking to break out. They don't. Here's Rupert's shot. And the save made by Berger on a sharp angle shot. The Knights try to clear. Can Toth keep it in? He cannot. The puck back to the Massena line. Brandon Hall. His pass is intercepted. Delay off sides on Seton. Raiders pick it up. Headman pass. Knocked away. Comes back to Rupert. He'll flip it ahead on the wing to Thomas Mankies. Gets away from him. Back out to center ice. And it's dumped down the ice. They wave off the icing as it comes all the way back into the scene. Why they waved it off, I have no idea. Here comes Nick Toth leading the attack, building up a head of steam across the red line, across the blue line. Toth trying to go by the defense. Here comes Toth, skates it in behind the net. Toth has it in the corner now, looking to set it up. He's tied up. It squirts free again. Robbie Whitcup after it. He and Brannon spar behind the net. Whitcup wins the battle, gets it back. Now coming in to help out is Michaud. The puck in the corner still is a battle for it. Finally taken there by Turner. Turner for Seton Catholic. Moves it along the boards out to center ice. It comes. They got a man breaking. It's not going to get to him. Intercepted there by Brandon Hall. Nice shovel headman pass. Intercepted though. And back comes Massena across the blue line. Leduc can't come up with it. It's dumped to an open wing. Trickles back into the Seton zone. Picked up by the defense ahead to center ice. Now Hatch banging for it. He can't come up with it. Here come the Knights trying to break in the zone. Leduc gets back. Here's a sharp angle shot. DeLille makes the save. Kicks it in the corner. Puck is free. Raiders pick it up. Look to break it out of there. And the puck trickles back into the Seton zone. And it's picked up by Kevin Brannon. Brannon in behind the net. Looks to move it out. Headman pass all the way down the ice. That'll be icing against Seton Catholic. And with 11 minutes left in the first period, we're scoreless on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Massena Red Raider Hockey on WMSA, brought to you in part this season by Nationwide Insurance and by your local Nationwide agents, Robert Adams and Robert White, located on East Orvis Street in Massena. Also by your friends at Massena Optics, Al Kieswetter and the staff. They're located on Main Street, downtown Massena, for eyewear and all your eye care needs. Make it Massena Optics. Foster's line back out for the Red Raiders against the Jodwin line, off the draw. Puck back in the corner, picked up on the defense by Brannon. He circles behind his own net for Seton, starts out right side. Long headman pass to the neutral zone, picked up by Brian Hatch. Hatch's headman, Catanzarite, lost it off the end of his stick, gets it back again. Here's Catanzarite trying to move it ahead. Poked free, Hatch picks it up. Brian Hatch looks, take it across, he's got room. Here's Hatch left wing side, takes it behind the net, centering pass in front, deflected right on by Catanzarite. Good opportunity for the Raiders. Leduc keeping it in at the point, he'll dump to the open wing. Puck bounces in the corner. Gagne, Kyle Gagne, the defenseman, picks it up, throws it ahead to his forward, and out to, no, it didn't get out. Hatch keeps it in again, dumps it in behind the net. It's going to go to Kevin Brannon, who rips it around the boards and all the way down the ice again. That'll be another icing call against Seton Catholic, and the face-off will move back inside Knight territory with 10:14 left in the first period. Scoreless hockey game. Both teams with some good chances here in the early going. Dusty DeLille, a couple of excellent saves for Massena. And on the other hand, Dave Berger with a couple of good stops for Seton Catholic. Derek Rupert out there for the Red Raiders, getting ready to take the face-off. Off the draw, Ramo trying to skate through, goes back to Toth. Toth skates it into the corner. Too much traffic, centers it right across the goal mouth, gets it right back again. Right side of the net, takes it from behind, centering pass. They couldn't get a stick on it. Back to the blue line, Ramo centers it into the middle. Here's Rupert's shot through traffic, save made again by Berger. Puck goes off his pad in behind the net to the blue line and it's dumped down the ice. Will it go far enough for icing? I do believe it will. The whistle blows and the Knights get called for icing once again. And the face-off will move back inside Seton Catholic territory. 9:49 remaining. In period one, on the Corky's Collision scoreboard, it is 0-0. Red Raider Hockey brought to you this season in part by the members of Seacom Federal Credit Union, with locations in Massena, Potsdam, and Malone. Rupert will face it off the draw. The bouncing puck in behind the net. It's Conroy's line out there. Conroy, Lawless, and Sam Adams. And the puck goes all the way down the ice into the Massena zone. Back after it is Nick Toth. Toth circles. Starts out left wing side. Nick Toth, he can carry the puck, but he's going to headman it. It's going to go to Ramo. Ramo deflects it deep in Seton territory. There's a battle for it, Ramo and Luckin. The puck squirts free. In behind the net, it's Ramo again, centering it. Oh, he almost got it free to Rupert. He couldn't get it there, though. It was intercepted. Now the puck out by the blue line. Aaron Ramo, centering pass right on. The rebound, side of the net. Mankey's trying to turn it around. Centering pass, shot, score! Aaron Ramo on a beautiful feed from Thomas Mankey's. And the Raiders take a 1-0 lead. And I'll tell you what, the Raiders were just buzzing around the net, and again that line doing what they do so very, very well, and they get the Massena goal. Ramo gets the goal for Massena, and the Raiders take the lead 1-0. Mankey's will pick up the assist. And Ramo had an excellent opportunity before that. Berger made a good save. So a very, very good goal for the Massena Red Raiders. Aaron Ramo gets the goal. Off the ensuing faceoff, puck to the line. Here comes Whitcup trying to bust by on the right wing side. Whitcup takes it in the corner, centering pass. It goes off a skate, and it's picked up by the Knights. They'll turn it back the other way. Here comes Seton Catholics. James Reardon down the left wing side, trying to move it through the middle. It goes into the corner, though. Hard check thrown. Whitcup picks up the loose puck. Oh, excuse me. Now it's Whitcup with a puck from Devin Paquin. Whitcup across the blue line, dropped it. And it's intercepted. He gets it back again, takes it across. Robbie Whitcup trying to bust by the defense, looks to center it a little bit too far, trickles in, right back to Whitcup in front. He centers it on the other side to Paquin, but the bouncer, he couldn't handle it, goes into the corner. Paquin dumping it behind. The Raiders now trying to put a little pressure on here. They've got a 1-0 lead, and the puck dumped down the ice. Went off a Raider defenseman sticks, Chad Southwick. He'll have to come and chase it down. DeLille will flip it around the boards. Kept in there momentarily. Now Whitcup picks up the loose puck. Flips it ahead. Poke checked away. There's the official and Whitcup both go together, and they both go down. Now the puck squirts in behind the net. Southwick will try to flip it around the boards to Michaud. Michaud flips it ahead. Tries to anyway. He's tied up along the puck boards about circle high. In the Massena zone, it comes back to the blue line. It's a hand pass, and they called it. Happened right in front of the bench, and the Massena coaches are going nuts. And the referee looks over and smiles after he makes the hand pass call. Face-off will move outside the Massena zone. Raiders lead at 1-0 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. 7:54 left in the first period. Matt Jodwin out there for Seton Catholic against Andrew Foster. Off the face-off, Nick Toth circles in his own end. Looks to headman, goes by everybody. And is that going to go far enough for icing? I don't believe so. They wave it off at the last minute. Puck stolen in front. Here's a chance for Dupree, and it's knocked off his stick. Back to the blue line, kept in by Toth. No, it wasn't. Delay offsides on Massena, but they clear the zone. And the puck picked up on the defense by Matt Dixon, trying to flip to his wing. Stuck, puck stolen in front. Here's a shot right on, rebound. And a good opportunity for Nick Tubolino pinching in from his defensive position. Puck back at the blue line. Tubolino can't keep it in that time. Here comes Dupree. Dupree dumps to an open wing. It's stopped by the defenseman, Matt Dixon. He'll flip it right back out to the neutral zone where Nick Toth intercepts. Toth bounce pass. McDonald trying to go to Tubolino. It's knocked away, and the puck dumped deep in the Massena zone, and that will probably be waved off as that was close to the red line. Nick Toth with the puck behind his own net. Overskates, gets it back again. Trying to flip it along the boards. He still loses it. Where's the puck? It bounces free in behind the net. And it'll go to the left side where it's picked up by Aaron Leduc. Leduc feeds it to the blue line, not out of the zone. Here's a shot, the rebound. Scores a goal. And who's going to get that goal? That's going to be Thomas Franzon getting the goal for Seton Catholic. And that was a situation where the Massena defenseman, instead of clearing it up the boards, cleared it right up the middle, right to the Seton Catholic defenseman who took the low shot. Dusty DeLille made the save but gave up the rebound to Thomas Franzon, who was standing about 10 feet to his glove side, and he poked it in. And no chance for Dusty on that one. That ties it up. Franzon gets the goal. Brandon Hall trying to move it for Massena, but it's poked away. Picking up the assist will be LeClaire, and Conroy gets the other assist, I guess. No, it should be number 5. Yeah, that's Conroy. Okay. Puck inside, Seton Catholic territory. Levine flips it behind the net for Catanzarite. Here's Adam in the corner. Catanzarite tied up. Foster comes in to help out. He gets in turn tied up by the defenseman Brannon, but Foster skates out of the pack. Here's Foster in the corner, looking to stick handle. Trying to flip it back to the blue line. Kept in at the point by Toth. Goes to Foster. His shot right on. And the save by Berger. And he'll hold on for the faceoff. 6 minutes even remaining in period number 1. We're tied at 1 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Both teams making changes here. Raiders will send out the Rupert Mankeys Ramo line. And it's going to be the John Turner, James Reardon, Joel Siskavich line for Seton Catholic. 1-1 tie hockey game. Face-off left side in the Seton zone after the save. Now they're going to toss the Seton forward out, and stepping in to take the draw will be Reardon against Rupert. Off the face-off, puck controlled by Luckin. Luckin will flip it on the other side. The Knights look to break out. Here's a headman pass right on the stick of Reardon. He takes it across and dumps it deep in the Massena zone. Puck clear to the blue line, not out. Shot knocked out. Massena moves it ahead. Mankeys trying to slide it. Intercepted there by Luckin. He bounces to the Massena line. Hatch picks it up, dumps to an open wing. Comes inside Seton Catholic territory. Matt Dixon picks it up, feeds it to the blue line, and it's out to center ice. Knocked away. Here comes Seton across the blue line. They got a man breaking. The shot goes up into the screen as James Reardon launched a rocket that may have been a field goal. But the faceoff will move probably outside the zone unless Massena touched it on the way. I don't know if apparently they deflected it because faceoff will be in the Massena zone with 5:23 left in the first period. 1-1 tie hockey game on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. The draw will be to the right of goaltender Dusty DeLille. Whitkup's line back out there for Massena. Reardon takes the draw. Off the faceoff, Reardon wins it. Takes it in the corner. Whitcup right on him. Reardon and Whitcup. Reardon escapes, centers it right across the goal mouth, but DeLille got a stick on it, pokes it free. Raiders look to break, and Paquin had a little problem gathering it in. It's back into the corner. Reardon again, stick handling. He's knocked off the puck. Whitcup takes it away. Here's Whitcup in the corner, trying to dipsy doodle, gets it to Paquin. Paquin this time gathers it in, moves it ahead. Headman pass. B-Shot couldn't quite get it, just a little bit behind him. Picked up by the Knights. Now they try to move it around, and out to center ice it goes. Hall gets a piece of it, but not enough to feed it ahead, and it's dumped deep in the Massena zone. Picked up there by Brian Hatch. He'll skate it ahead. Hatch takes it out to center ice. Hatch moves it down the sideline from the red line, dumps it deep in Seton territory. Michaud cruising in after it, picks it up in the corner. Here's Michaud, looks to center, goes off a leg behind the net. Picked up there. And around the boards by the Knights, stolen by Paquin. Paquin looks to center, Whitcup in the slot, back in front. Michaud shot, save, rebound, bounces around. Robbie Whitcup, nice save over the net. It goes into the corner as Berger somehow got a stick on Whitcup's attempt and deflected it over the net. Around the boards it goes and down the ice. It'll go into the Massena zone, and racing for it there is Leclerc. He's taken into the boards, and the puck poked behind the net. Around the horn, Michaud. Michaud gets tied up. The puck squirts free in behind. After it there is Leclerc. Leclerc can't control it. Comes out by the blue line, dumped back in the corner. Bounces behind the net. Toth will flip it around for Michaud. He gathers it in, bangs it to the blue line to Devin Paquin. Paquin looks to go on the other side to Brandon Hall. He skates it out of the zone. Ahead to Michaud. They want a line change as the puck picked up by Brandon. Raiders got to get back on. Otherwise, they're going to get caught in the line change, but they don't. And the puck comes to Aaron Leduc in the corner. Leduc has it bounce right in front of the net, but Hall is there. His pass intercepted. They got a 2-on-none. The shot save made DeLille. The puck in the slot, turns around, another shot, another save by DeLille. Puck goes in the corner. Raiders again with a cough up in their own zone. There's a delay penalty. Raiders make the save and touch the puck. I think there's a delay penalty. Massena's touched the puck 15 times since they had his hand up. And now finally they do call the penalty. And it will be a holding call. Who's it against? Chris Levine. So the Knights will go on the power play. We're a 1-1 tie hockey game on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. And again, an errant clearing pass led to a couple of great opportunities by Seton Catholic. And a couple of great saves by Dusty DeLille. Face-off in the Massena zone. Rupert out there to kill. He'll take the draw. Wins the face-off, comes back to the point, doesn't get out of the zone, though. Kept in by the Knights as they move it around, setting up their power play. Back to the point it goes. They'll move it to the center. They got a man wide open. He fanned on the shot. DeLille comes behind the net, clears it into the corner. Puck around the boards. It's a great opportunity for Turner. He tries to center it, but it goes behind the net off a skate. Puck in behind as they battle for it there. Squirts free. Picked up by Reardon. Reardon, he'll bounce it back to the blue line. Kept in at the point. They move it D to D and dump it into the corner. Bouncing in behind the net. Into the corner it goes. Nice job there by Leduc. And the puck is underneath. They're both down. Here comes Seton right across the goal mouth, but nobody there. Here's another shot right on. DeLille makes the save. Puck cleared into the slot. Rupert bangs it out to center ice, and there is an offsides call. And Matt Dixon took shot after the whistle and got Aaron Leduc with it, but no call on the play. 2:13 left in the period, a 1-1 tie hockey game on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. And there's no penalty. They have penalty times on the clock, but they don't use it for some reason, so we're not exactly sure how much time is left. But the Raiders control the faceoff. Michaud takes it across to Whitcup. Whitcup gets by the D. In front, Michaud shot right on, and the save made it roll to the goal line as Berger was out of the play, but it couldn't get across. Great opportunity for Massena, and the puck goes bouncing in front. Whitcup picks up the loose puck, flips it to the blue line, not out of the zone. Massena's still down a man. Here's a shot through traffic, knocked away. Into the circle. They move it back to the point. Around the horn it goes, and in behind the net. Racing for it there is Siskavich. Moves it to the 45. They pass it back to the blue line. Penalty is just about up. They get a man back. And that back out to the blue line it is. Here's a shot wide. Rebound side of the net, and DeLille covers up and holds on for the face-off. So the Raiders with a great opportunity for a shorthanded goal, and it rolled to the goal line and didn't cross as Berger made the initial save. A nice two-way passing play by Michaud and Robbie Whitcup. But the score remains a 1-1 tie hockey game here with 1:29 left in the first period. Good hockey game here at Cass Park in Ithaca. Jodwin will take the face-off against Foster in the Massena zone. Off the draw, puck in the corner. Toth after it, he'll pick it up. Flip it around behind the net for Levine. Back on the other side to Toth. Takes it behind the net. Circles back. Backhands it to Catanzarite. Catanzarite skates it ahead. Has it knocked away. But it's free to Foster. Foster looked to clear. Didn't. Now the puck bounces to Catanzarite. He whacks at it. Back to the blue line, but not out. Puck in the corner goes behind the net. Foster throws a check. The puck squirts free to Toth, and he'll start out left side. Nick Toth off the glass and trickles into the Seton zone. There's a foot race for it. Luckin comes up with it. Flips to the open wing. Levine steps in front of the pass. Here's Levine behind the net. He gets tied up but stays with the puck. Here's Levine. Still has it. Centers it. Bounces right back to the blue line. And it's kept in at the point by Hall to Catanzarite. He'll flip it behind the net. Levine battles for it there again. Levine centering pass right in front. Catanzarite shot. And it goes in behind the net. Was not on. He didn't have much to shoot at. Now Levine battles for it in the corner. Catanzarite goes back to the point. Here's Leduc with it. Flips to the wing. Into the corner it goes to Levine again. Levine trying to skate by the check. Foster helping out. Levine wraparound attempt. Shot. And the save made comes to Foster. Foster looks to take it. From in front. Shot. Score! Adam Catanzarite from Andrew Foster. And the Raiders take a 2-1 lead with 11 seconds left in the first period. I don't know if Chris Levine is going to get an assist on that goal, but he certainly did yeoman's work in there. So the Raiders pick up a second goal to take the lead here, 2-1, with 11 seconds left in the period. And they just kept battling and battling and battling, and it certainly paid off as they take a 2-1 lead here at the end of the first period. 11 seconds left in the period. Adam Catanzarite pulled the trigger on a nice feed from Andrew Foster. Let's see if there's another assist. 7 seconds left. Puck bouncing to the Massena line. No, it's knocked away. We got a whistle and a hand pass with 3 seconds left in the period. And the faceoff will come right at the red line at center ice after the hand pass. Raiders lead at 2-1 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. An Adam Catanzarite goal, the go-ahead goal here late in the period. Off the face-off, trickles back in off the bench against Turner. They drop the puck and we're underway. Paquin trying to move it ahead. Intercepted there and to the Massena line it goes and trickles back behind the net. DeLille will stop it and flip it into the corner. Turner after it there for Seton. Looks to center. It bounces in behind again. Picked up there by Reardon. Reardon looks to center, but Devin Paquin steps in front of the pass, takes it along the boards, moves it to Whitcup, and Whitcup breaks out. Here's Whitcup down the wing side, has it poke checked away. Puck bouncing back to neutral ice. Hall can't come up with it, and here comes Joel Siskavich. Siskavich winds up the shot to save the rebound in front, bouncing into the corner. Siskavich follows up and scores, and DeLille had no idea where it was. Siskavich came in and took the shot, and following up on the play was James Reardon. Reardon followed and got another shot, and then following up was Siskavich on his own shot, and he beat DeLille. That goal coming at the 23-second mark. So the Raiders get a late one in the first period, and Massena gets, or I should say Seton Catholic gets an early one here in the second period, and we're all tied up. Siskavich gets the goal from James Reardon at the 33-second mark of the period. So a 2-2 tie hockey game. The Raiders give an early one up here. Siskavich, of course, the goaltender who played so well against Massena, now playing out front. Reardon gets the assist. And the Raiders look to move it ahead, but they can't clear the zone. Poke checked away. And in behind the net it goes. Finally comes free to McDonald for Massena. McDonald moves it along the boards. He gets tied up there, and finally the puck is whistled dead. And we'll have a face-off inside Massena territory. 2-2 tie hockey game. 14:05 left on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Coming out will be Jodwin's line. Jodwin, Leclerc, and Franzon. Massena counters with Tubolino, who is centering a line here. He takes the face-off, wins the draw, trying to move it along the boards. McDonald and Dupree. So this is a bit of a different line as well. Puck in the corner. Raiders trying to move it ahead. It squirts back to the blue line, and it's dumped into the corner. In behind the net, Leduc looks to tie his man up. The puck squirts free, bounces right in front, and the Raiders are going to gather it in. McDonald moves out to center ice. From the red line, makes the move, gets knocked down at the blue line, gets knocked away. Back to the Massena line, Brian Hatch after it. Hatch picks it up, turns it around. Ahead it goes to Tubolino, knocked away from him. And back to the Massena line where Leduc gathers it in. Here's Aaron Leduc. He'll drop it back to Hatch. Hatch's headman goes by everybody. Down the ice, and icing will be called against Massena. And the faceoff will move back inside Massena territory. And the Raiders will come back with the Foster line. Andrew Foster out there with Adam Catanzarite and Chris Levine. That's the line that got the Massena goal late in the period. Face-off right side. Off the draw. Puck in behind the net. Trickles right in front, and DeLille's going to cover it up. Went off Nick Toth's stick and kind of rolled right to the side of the net. And Dusty DeLille covers up and holds on for the face-off. Again, right side in the Massena zone. Foster off the face-off against Conroy. Puck goes in behind the net. Toth will rip it around for Catanzarite on the right wing side. Moves it ahead. Foster banks it out to center ice. Trickles to Seton, Catholic territory. Gagne back after it. He'll pick it up and circle behind his own net. Being bothered there, moves it to the blue line. Kept in by Hall, who dumps it right behind the net again. In behind, Kevin Brannon with it. He'll flip to an open wing. Coming back is Sam Adams. Adams poke checked away by Foster. The puck squirts free into the circle. Check thrown. Foster picks it up. Skates in front. Shot. Hit off a leg into the corner. Catanzarite threw a check and allowed Foster to pick up the puck. Here's Chris Levine digging behind the net. Goes to Catanzarite. Short side shot. Rebound. Puck squirts free. And a good save made by Berger. Puck kept in at the point as Toth takes a check, but Foster's got the puck. Foster to Levine. Back to Foster in front. He's got room. He lost it off the end of his stick. I'm not sure what happened there. Puck still kept in at the point. Now finally it's out to center ice. To the Massena line. And across the blue line, in behind the net it goes. Massena territory. Back after it there is Conroy. He's rubbed off the play. The puck bounces free. Raiders pick it up. It's Toth. Toth headman, Catanzarite. Out to the blue line. He's checked off the play, but Toth steals the puck. Here comes Toth. Across. Trying to slide Catanzarite. Here's Catanzarite. It's poke checked away in behind the net. Catanzarite throws the check. The puck picked up there, though. And back the other way. It's stolen by Robbie Whitcup. Poke checked off his stick. And into the corner it goes. Now they move it out to center ice. Here's Toth trying to slide it ahead. Dump to the Massena line. Brandon Hall gathers it in there. Here's Hall moving it ahead. They move it into the zone. Michaud gets knocked down, comes up with it, somehow flips in behind the net for Robbie Whitcup. Here's Whitcup trying to come out of the corner. He gets tied up. Devin Pake went after it there. But the puck poked away to Luckett on the other side. He bangs it off the glass and out to center ice. Here comes Leduc trying to come up with it. He can't. And the puck in the corner. They got a breaking man. Here's the shot. And it went around the boards all the way back to the other point, where it's kept in. Puck dumped in the corner. Leduc picks it up. He'll flip it around on the other side. After it is Hatch. Hatch has it poke checked away. Goes bouncing into the other corner to Reardon. Reardon off the glass behind the net. After it is Brian Hatch. Hatch, he gets tied up. Trying to move the puck along with his skate. It bounces free. Still in the circle. Hatch will flip it around the other way. And it looks like Paquin will come up with it. He's checked off the puck. It squirts to Leduc. Leduc trying to move it free. It's picked up again by Siskavich. In behind the shot, the save, and gathering it in is goaltender Dusty DeLille. And the Raiders with a little problem there, having trouble clearing their zone again, as they have yet to get a shot on net. Meanwhile, the Knights have gotten 4 shots on the Massena net and scored a goal. 2-2 tie hockey game on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. We've got the Rupert line coming out now against the Jodwin line. Seton Catholic going with pretty much 3 lines, but 2 lines and the third, they spot the third. Puck dumped right in front of the net. It bounces into the corner off a stick. Hard check thrown there, but it squirts free to Jodwin. Trying to center it, but it gets by everybody. And finally, it's picked up by Aaron Ramo. Ramo's headman goes by everybody, but it's going to trickle right in. And Berger is going to hold on for the face-off. 10:29 remaining, period number 2. We're tied at 2, Massena Seton Catholic in the consolation game of the Ithaca Tournament. Rupert's line out there now against the Jodwin line. Off the face-off, Rupert wins it to Hatch. Hatch, quick snapshot, doesn't get through, and the puck bounces to Leclerc. He'll start it out. Poke check down the ice, and it's going to be icing. And the officials are a little slow in giving the indication as to what they're going to call. It It is going to be an icing call, but they didn't call it until at the last second. Didn't make any indication at all it was going to be an icing. So on the icing, the faceoff moves back inside Seton Catholic territory, right of the goaltender Berger off the draw. Puck comes to Hatch again, almost exactly the same. This time his shot goes wide. Leduc pinches in, flips it back in the corner. Mankeys around the horn for Aaron Ramo. Ramo trying to drop it back to Mankeys. Mankeys in behind the net for Rupert. Rupert gets tied up, stays with it, gets a stick free, flips it on the other side. Meant for Ramo, but it's knocked away. Comes back to the blue line, kept in there by Leduc. To Rupert. Rupert bouncing it free to the blue line and out to center ice. Hatch comes after it at his own blue line. Here's Brian Hatch with it, flipping it ahead. Ramo, Rupert, he'll dump it. In behind the net it goes. Berger stops at the goalie. He'll flip it around the boards to the blue line, kept in by Hatch. He dumps it behind the net as the Raiders make a line change. Levine digs it out of the corner. Levine drops for Foster. Foster looking for Levine, bounces it right in front of the net. Here's Catanzari's shot right on rebound. And another save by Berger as it goes across the goal mouth. So Raiders with opportunities here. It squirts free again. Here comes Chris Levine behind the net, digging for it. To Foster. Foster in the corner. Levine in front. Knocked away to the blue line. Nick Toth with it. Trying to flip it through. Gets it back again. Here's Toth. Skates by the check. Here's Toth. Can't get the shot off. And we have a whistle. I think we got a man in the crease. And that'll move the face-off outside the zone if that's the case. 2-2 tie hockey game here with 9:06 remaining in the second period on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Raiders stay out there with the Foster line. Foster, Levine, and Catanzari. They've been effective. Hall and Toth at the points. Seton right back with the Conroy line. Conroy steps into the circle just outside the zone, off the draw. Foster, the Levine, takes it across. Levine along the boards, he'll dump it in the corner. Foster racing for it along with Dixon. Foster tied up by Dixon. The puck sits there. Foster kind of moves it free to the 45, but it's Seton moving it out to center ice. Catanzari back after it. He'll dump it right back in the Seton zone. Raiders have to get onside. They do. Here comes Seton Catholics. Dixon. Dixon, headman pass deflected right on DeLille, and he'll gather it in and hold on for the faceoff. And the faceoff will come to the right of Dusty DeLille in the Massena zone. 8:38 left in the second period, 2-2 tie hockey game at Cass Park in Ithaca. I'm Jerry Manor on 1340 WMSA, the voice of Massena Red Raider hockey. Off the draw, Whitcup wins the faceoff to Devin Paquin. Paquin takes it out, looking for the breaking man, gets it back again off a leg, and skates it right across the blue line. Now he flips it on the wing to Michaud. Michaud to Whitcup. Whitcup takes it to Paquin, knocked away. Back high in the air, knocked down by Toth, trying to flip it ahead, gets it back again. Moves it to Paquin. Paquin cuts across. And he couldn't get it across the blue line, and the Raiders have to come back onside as Paquin dumps it into the Massena bench. And we'll have a face-off. A little bit of a collision right at the blue line. And the two Massena forwards got bollocked up a little bit. And as a result, offsides would have been called.
Go Raiders.
But the puck goes up into the Massena bench, and they'll face off where the puck left the ice, just across the red line.
Go White.
Off the draw, puck to the Seton line. Picked up by the Knights defense. They move it to the Massena line. Hall is there to the red line. Ahead to Paquin, who dumps it on the backhand deep in Seton territory. Matt Dixon after it there. Seton defenseman flips it around the boards. Paquin steps in front, but can't come up with it. It rolled over his stick, and it trickles out to center ice where Brandon Hall picks it up, has it taken away. Here comes Seton into the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes, back to the blue line. Not out of the zone, though, as it trickles to Whitcup, who moves it ahead. Michaud bangs it out to center ice. Bounces free. Whitcup throws a check, and it comes to Hall. Hall dumps it into the Seton zone. Knocked down there as the Raiders make changes. And down the sideline, here comes Seton Catholics. Luckin. He dumps it. Shot from center ice, and the save made by Dusty DeLille. Puck dropped in the corner. Comes to Michaud, who just bangs it out to center ice. Here's Rupert racing for it. Can't catch up with it. The puck hit the official, and it trickles back into Seton Catholic territory. They don't clear the zone. That should have been an offsides. They missed one. Puck in the zone, though. Massena's got the puck in the Seton zone. Rupert centers it. Back to the point. Nick Toth. Toth backhands it free. Into the corner it goes. Ramo after it. He can't get it. That's Aaron Ramo. Puck along to the blue line. Ramo again keeps it in. Here's Ramo feeding in the corner. Thomas Menke's trying to go back to him. Back to the point, Leduc. His shot through traffic, right on the rebound. Poke checked and out to the blue line again. Hatch can't keep it in. Here's Hatch with it, circles back to his own blue line. Looks up ice, flips it to Leduc. Leduc dumps it across ice, nice pass. Ramo breaking in on the left wing side. Centering pass right in front, and the save is made by Berger. Now the puck back to the blue line. Down the ice it goes. That'll be icing against Seton Catholic. And the Raiders putting on pressure again with this line of Rupert, Menkes, and Ramo. And the faceoff will move back inside Seton Catholic territory. 6:24 in period number 2. It's a 2-2 tie hockey game on the Snyder & Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Broadcast also brought to you by the men and women of Alcoa's Massena operations, by Massena Memorial Hospital, quality health care in the Seaway Valley. Tubolino's line out there now, Zach Dupree and Eric McDonald. And Dupree will take the face-off, right side, off the draw. The puck comes to Leduc. He just dumps it in behind the net. Brandon is there to rip it around the boards. Leduc steps in, winds up, and he golfs one high in behind the net. Back to Leduc, or to Zach Dupree in the corner. He can't control it. To the blue line, it trickles out to center ice. Picked up by Brian Hatch. He circles at the red line, dumps it right back inside Seton Catholic territory. In behind is Brandon again. He rips it around the boards to the blue line. Hatch steps in. His shot through traffic. It's deflected by McDonald wide. Puck goes along the boards. Knights look to move it ahead. Out to center ice, where Leduc picks it up, flips it right back on the wing to Tubolino, back to Leduc. Leduc moving along the sideline to McDonald. McDonald trying to pass it, but it's intercepted. And right back to the Massena line it comes. Hatch racing in after it. DeLille will play it into the corner, around the boards for Dupree. Dupree's wide headman goes all the way back out to center ice. Dumped right back in by the Knights, picked up by Leduc. Leduc turns it around, moving down the right side. He stops at the red line. Nice headman pass to Zach Dupree. Dupree turns, trying to flip it in front to Leduc. Back to the point. Here comes a chance for Tubolino. Tubolino gets by the check. His shot right on. Save made by Berger. Puck in the corner to the blue line. Hatch trying to keep it in. He does. Gloves it down, dumps it into the circle. Now they're going to dump it on the open wing. Goes all the way back to Leduc at the Massena blue line with 5 minutes left in the period and a 2-2 tie hockey game. Aaron Leduc's long headman pounce bounces by everybody. Chris Levine racing in, but goaltender Berger's out to play it. Doesn't get it out of the zone, though. Comes to Catanzarit in the corner. Catanzarit and Levine now. Levine comes away with a puck. Skates from behind the net, wraps it around, and just missed by an inch. Oh, great opportunity. Puck comes to the blue line. Back to the point. Toth tees it up, broke his stick. The stick blade went further than the puck did, and he has to get some more lumber. Now the puck back into the Massena line, and Toth has got the wrong-handed stick, and we need a whistle now. Puck comes to the Massena line. Brandon Hall is there to come up with it. Here's Hall, gets knocked down, but Leduc comes up with it and flips it back in the corner. Puck controlled around the boards by Berger to the blue line and all the way down the ice. Not far enough for icing as Brandon Hall will gather it in. Here's Hall picking it up, comes from behind his own net. Here's Hall, skates by the check to the blue line. Can he get it out? No, he doesn't. Here's an opportunity in front for Saskavich. Here's the shot, the save made. Big save by DeLille right off the stick of Saskavich as the Massena defenseman tried to come out of the zone and make a move, and he had the puck poke checked away, and he was the last guy back. Saskavich picked it up and went in, cut across, went on the backhand, but Dusty DeLille made a great save, took it right off his stick with his glove, and the score remains tied at 2-2 on the Snyder & Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Whitcup's line back out there against the Turner line. And, they're going to get that broken stick off the ice. Yeah, Nick's shot, I think he got more ice than puck. The stick blade went further than the puck did. Face off in the Massena zone. Whitcup will draw against Reardon. Right side of goaltender Dusty DeLille. 2-2 tie hockey game on the Snyder & Snyder Attorneys at Law. Scoreboard off the faceoff. Puck sits in the circle. Who's got it? Goes into the corner. Bounces right in front. DeLille has to make the save as that went off a couple of bodies and changed direction 3 times. But the save is made by goaltender Dusty DeLille, and the score remains 2-2. We'll face it off again inside the Massena zone. To the right side of DeLille. Off the face-off, puck goes in the corner. Siskavich again. His pass intercepted. Michaud trying to clear the zone, doesn't, and the puck bounces along the sidelines. Knocked free, comes to Whitcup. Whitcup steps by a check, picks up the puck again. Looks to move it down the sideline, dumped right back to the blue line. Where is it? Still in the zone. They got a man in front, but they can't get him the puck as it comes bouncing in behind the net. Now they cross-ice pass, goes all the way back to the blue line, kept in at the point. Bouncing pass in front, cleared to the blue line and out to center ice by the Red Raiders. Puck trickles to the Seton line, picked up by Whitcup. Whitcup, head man past Michaud, trying to barge his way through, lost the puck off the end of his stick. Kyle Gagne. Michaud throws him into the boards. There's going to be a penalty on Massena as he gets hit for a boarding call probably, or a hit from behind. That's going to be a major penalty. That was right on the edge. That was not that bad a penalty, but they're going to give him a game DQ, as they call it. Yeah, they call it really tight here. And it looks like Michaud, and that's going to be a 4.5-minute penalty. It's a major penalty. And again, that was not that bad a check, but they're going to make the call. Aaron Michaud. So game DQ to Michaud. That's a second Massena player, so he'll be out the next game as well. And no, St. Lawrence Central on Wednesday. And so he's going to get to go to the locker room. The officials talking to the captains, and so Massena will be down for 4.5. And so they're going to be killing penalty for a long time. 3:02 left in the second period. And Ed Latham now talking to the officials. He's obviously not happy with the call. And the official explaining how the rule books are very clear on this. And again, it was on the edge of being a major penalty, but they are going to call the major, and as a result, it gets a game DQ. And the Raiders will be down for 4.5 minutes here with the major penalty, and they don't get the man back if Seton Catholic scores because it's a major penalty. So Michaud will be going to the locker room, and looks like Chris Olsen's going to have to come over and serve the penalty. So, Massena killing a penalty for a long time, rest of the period anyway. A 2-2 tie hockey game here. Off the face-off, puck goes into the Seton zone. They move it out to center ice. Rupert after it there. Flips it ahead back to the Seton line. And around the horn it goes. And they dump it deep in Massena territory. In behind the net. Picked up, hit the official. Back in the corner it goes. Siskavich is there. Toth battling him. Siskavich takes the puck into the corner. Here's Siskavich, back to the point, gets it back again. Here's a cross-ice pass, goes wide on the other side, meant for Reardon. He gathers it out of the corner. Seton Catholic with a 4.5-minute power play here. And they bounce it right in front. It's knocked down, and DeLille is going to cover up and hold on for the face-off. 2:19 left in the second period. 2-2 tie hockey game. And now Massena will make penalty killing changes as Whitcup and Levine come across the boards. Toth and Hall stay out there at the points. We've got Turner taking the face-off for Seton Catholic in the Massena zone. Off the draw. Puck squirts free. Back to the blue line. Kept in Brannon. Shot knocked down by Levine. Levine dumps it to the blue line. Doesn't get it out of the zone. Great stop by Brandon to keep it in. Now it's Hall on the other side. Ridden into the boards. The puck bounces free. Whitcup after it there. Back out by the blue line, Saskavich. Has it knocked away. Here comes Whitcup. Busting away, one-on-one with Saskavich. Whitcup takes it wide. He is hauled down. There's going to be a penalty on Seton Catholic as he took his feet out from under him. And it's going to be, a tripping call, I would imagine. Yep, tripping the call as he took Whitcup's feet out right from under him as he was breaking in, and that'll even things up.
That should be a penalty shot.
1:48 remaining in the second period. That'll even things up at 4-on-4 for the next minute 30. And I guess they're checking to see how much time is left in the major penalty. Face off right side. Now it's Whitcup taking the face off for Massena. Off the draw, the puck comes to Matt Dixon. Dixon takes it in behind the net and moves it ahead out to the neutral zone. Toth trying to come up with it. He does, and it dumps off his stick deep in Massena territory. Toth after it. Takes it in the corner, then flips it around on the other side for Brandon Hall. Hall drops it back to Toth. No, he picks it up, now goes to Toth. The Raiders control. It's 4-on-4 as they look to move it out of the zone. Here's Levine, head man to Whitcup. Whitcup busts by the defenseman. Here's Whitcup in front of Levine, and he can't get it to him. And the save is, I don't even think it got in for a save. And the puck dumped down the ice by Seton Catholic. Will it go far enough for icing? It rolls across the line. And we'll have a face-off back in Massena, or in Seton Catholic territory on the icing. 1:03 left in the second period. A 2-2 tie hockey game on the Snyder and Snyder Attorneys at Law scoreboard. Aaron Michaud, a game disqualification for hit from behind, major penalty. We're 4-4 right now for the next about 30 seconds, and then Seton will be back on the power play on that major penalty. So the Raiders have to try to kill it off, maybe get one here when they're 4-on-4 to take that lead again. Off the face-off. Puck goes in behind the net. Devin Paquin after it, can't come up with it. Matt Dixon does for Seton. Takes it right in front of his net, then flips it ahead to the blue line and out to center ice. Here comes Dixon. And offsides will be the call. As a defenseman carrying the puck and his forwards, I guess, didn't expect it, didn't know what to do. So offsides was the call. Paquin will take the face-off. And who's it going to be for Seton Catholic? James Reardon, just outside the Massena zone. Off the draw, the bouncing puck takes it across Reardon. He steps by the shot and fires it wide. Dumps it in behind the net. Picked up there by Hatch. Hatch circles back the other way. Picks up a crowd and then flips it along the boards for Aaron Leduc. Leduc just bangs it out to center ice. Knocked away back there, and here comes Brian Hatch. Hatch is going to take it down the left wing side. Here's Hatch, and the official got in the way again. That's the second time that's happened, as the official just can't seem to get out of the way. Leduc picks it up at his own blue line, circles back in behind the net. Here's Leduc. Goes for Paquin, and it's dumped back in behind the Massena net. 10 seconds left. Here's a pass right in front, goes all the way back to the blue line. Kept in at the point. Here's a shot in behind the net. Bounces free. We got another penalty. Or controlling with a high stick, or is it a high stick penalty? And that's going to go against Massena, and that's going to put them 2 men down here with 3 seconds left in the period. So the face-off will come to the right of goaltender Dusty DeLille with 3 seconds left. And the Raiders are going to be 2 men down here. Is Seton going to pull their goalie with 3 seconds left? Apparently not. Off the face-off, Robbie Whitcup wins it 2-1. That'll take care of the save. Reardon taking the face-off off the draw. Ramo just flips it to the Seton line. Down the horn. And Brannon looks to take it across. He'll just dump it in the Massena zone. Stop side of the net. DeLille will flip it around the boards. Controlled by the Knights as they move it back to the horn. Back to the blue line. Around the horn. Fake the shot. Massena just trying to play diamond. Here's a shot right across the goal mouth, and DeLille makes a save. Puck goes into the other corner. Back to the point. Here's a fake shot. They go to the 45. Wind up. The shot saved. DeLille kicks it into the corner. Picked up by Seton as they just move it around. Back to the point. Dixon on the other side. Brannon. They move it. Here's the shot right across the goal mouth. Nobody there. And it goes back to the point. Here's a shot through traffic. DeLille makes the save. The rebound bounces out to the circle. Another shot high over the net. And around the boards it goes. Massena's almost killed off a minute as the puck bounces out to center ice. Break there for the Raiders. They make change and penalty kill. Here comes Seton across the blue line into the Massena zone. Saskavich trying to pass it in front. Brannon, here's the shot knocked down. The rebound right in front. Raiders pick it up. Whitcup, he'll dump it down the ice. Good job by the kill so far. 43 seconds. Back to the blue line, out to center ice, poked away by Rupert. Out to the Massena line and down the ice. They waved the icing off. I think somebody touched it. And the Raiders are going to get a man back. So they got a man back, and they killed off part of the penalty. Down the ice it goes, and that'll be waved off. And the Raiders are going to get that second. Now they blow the whistle. The officials, I don't think, have a clue what's going on. As I think that was, did Massena get their men back? Is that going to be icing call on Massena? So the Raiders were able to kill off a two-man advantage for a minute and a half. Well, what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to face it off at center ice when they mess up the call. They're supposed to center it or face it off at center ice, but nope, they're going to face it off back in the Massena zone. As the Raiders had gotten all their men back, now Nick Toth is going to come out and say, hey, you know, you blow the call. It's supposed to be at center ice. Now the official is saying, off the draw. The other guy drops. Nick Toth, the captain, is out talking to the official, and the other guy drops the puck. Oh, my goodness. Really? You're sure about that? Yeah? Okay. We just heard that. Okay, back to the faceoff. Here's the shot blocked. Paquin trying to move it out of the zone. Does not clear the zone. Here's another shot in behind the net. The bouncer controlled by Massena. Stolen away. Restolen by Whitcup. He starts it out. Headman pass to Devin Paquin. He just poke checks it in the zone of Seton Catholic. After it is Kyle Gagne in behind his net. Flips it on the glass. Whitcup steps in front of it. Looks to tie it up there. Puck along the boards. Whitcup and two Seton Catholic Knights. Whitcup comes out of the fray with a puck. Steps from behind the net. Here's Whitcup with it. Devin Paquin looking to help him out. He gets double teamed again. And where's the puck? The whistle blows. And we'll have a face-off inside Seton Catholic territory. So the Raiders kill off the two-man advantage. And that so far is the story of this third period. 12:42 left in third period play. On the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard, we're tied at 2. Raiders making wholesale changes here as Foster's line coming out with Levine and Catanzari. Now, we've been told that the Michaud penalty, the game disqualification, is for one game only, this game. So he'll be back on Wednesday, and that's good news. Off the faceoff, puck back to the blue line. Hall with it, flips it to Levine in the corner. Levine takes it, circles, comes out of the fray. Here's Levine with it, has it knocked away, trying to get it back again. It bounces free, picked up there by Dixon. He'll wrap it around the boards to the blue line, out to center ice and down the ice. That's got to be an icing call. No, they waved the icing off. I guess they ruled Massena could have played it. Catanzari trying to come up with it at the blue line. Foster, he can't come up with it. Here's a shot from center ice, but offsides will be the call. 12:13 remaining in the period. 2-2 tie hockey game here. Out the face-off will be Kevin Conroy. Conroy out there with Riley Lawless and Sam Adams. Foster line from Massena. Here's Andrew trying to barge his way through. Boy, he throws a check, picks up the puck, gets by one, has it poke checked away back to the blue line, and out to center ice. It trickles at the blue line, still finally out to center ice. And here comes Conroy, his shot. DeLille makes the save. Puck in the corner. After it there is Hall, throws a check. There's bodies flying behind the net. And where's the puck? It's still free. Finally, wraparound attempt. Where is it? Side of the net. Nick Toth picks it up and starts out. Here's Toth. Lugs it to center ice. Got the head of steam. Here's Toth with it. Takes it wide right side. Gets a sharp angle shot right across the goal mouth. Didn't get on net, though. Now the puck to the blue line. Kept in at the point by Hall. He'll backhand it in the corner. Lutkin with it there for Seton Catholic. Lutkin off the glass to the neutral zone. Trying to move it in the Massena zone. Leduc picks it up, flips it ahead. Ramo dumps to an open wing. Rupert, nice play. Here's Rupert trying to bust by. He's taken out of the play. Ramo follows up, trying to move it through traffic. It's stolen away there by Brandon, the defenseman. Brandon to Dixon. He's going to ice the puck and is going to roll right on. DeLille has to make the save. He'll play it out to center ice. Here comes Ramo with it. Has it knocked away. Puck dumped back in the Massena zone. In behind the net. Raiders trying to come up with it. It's Hatch with it. Hatch running into some traffic, flips it along the boards. Bouncer comes across the ice and picked up there by Massena. Out to center ice. The bouncer goes by the defenseman. He tries to save it. It bounces free. Where is it? In the neutral zone again. Here comes Massena's Leduc following up on the play. The backhander by Thomas Mankies as Massena wants off. They're going to make a line change here. Nice look to move it out. Puck stolen away. Here's Leduc trying to center Whitcup. Tubolino follows up. Here's Tubolino taking it in behind. Stick handling. Looks to pass it. It goes off a leg to the blue line down the ice. And icing will be the call against Seton Catholic with 10:04 left in the period. 2-2 tie hockey game on the Tommy Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Raiders with Whitcup out there. Tubolino has stepped up to play forward on this line. We have Brandon Hall back playing defense, and Tubolino moves up to play forward as Massena's missing a few people here. Paquin the other wing for Robbie Whitcup. Whitcup to take the draw against Jodwin off the faceoff. Puck in the circle. Sits in the circle. Bouncing in front. Comes back to the blue line. Paquin, nice pass. Over to Hall. Cranks it up. Shot right on. Save made by David Berger. And the face-off will come as the puck goes up into the screen behind the net to the right of goaltender Berger. 9:50 left to go in the third period. 2-2 tie hockey game on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Whitcup again will face off against Jodwin. Off the face-off. Puck shot down the ice again by Seton Catholic. That'll be another icing call against the Knights. And this is back the way it was in the first period with Seton icing the puck frequently, and that's another one. Face off right side, Seton Catholic territory. Again, Whitcup will take the draw against Jodwin. Third time, off the draw. Whitcup trying to barge his way through. Paquin follows, takes it in behind, has it knocked off his stick by Dixon. Puck squirts into the corner. Hard check thrown by Paquin. Paquin trying to come away with the puck. It goes to Whitcup, out of the blue line. Looks to center, right in front of the net, and Tubolino couldn't control the bouncing puck. He goes back to Paquin on the other side. Goes around him. Looking for it is Dixon. Dixon circles back. Picks up a little forecheck pressure and almost lost it, but flips it down the ice again. It's going to roll on end, and it will again go far enough for icing. And the face-off will move back inside Seton Catholic territory one more time. 2-2 tie hockey game as the Raiders make a line change. Foster coming out with Levine and Catanzarite. And it's going to be the Conroy line out there for Seton Catholic. 9:13 left in the third period, a consolation game of the Ithaca Tournament. Foster will face off against Conroy. Off the draw. Puck goes in behind the net. After it there is Kevin Brannon. He and Foster spar. Foster comes away with the puck trying to center it, but it's knocked away. Back toward the blue line and out to center ice. Here comes Kevin Conroy. He'll dump it deep in Massena territory. Puck rips into the corner. Sam Adams picks it up there, lost it off the end of his stick. Comes to Leduc. Leduc goes for Catanzarite. He can't come up with it. Puck bounces in front. Foster. Here's Andrew Foster with it. He'll backhand it. That's not going to go far enough for icing, is it? They wave the icing off? No, they call that one. The Seton Catholic defenseman coming back stopped skating and let the puck roll across the red line, and they call the icing. So the face-off moves back in the Massena zone. 8:42 remaining in the third period. 2-2 tie hockey game on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. We're at Cass Park in Ithaca. And again, Conroy will face off against Foster. Off the draw, Raiders control. Here's Catanzari. Moving it out to Levine, but he lost most of that, and it takes a funny bounce and comes in front of the net, but Brian Hatch is there from Massena. Hatch clears it to the neutral zone, dumped right back in. The layoff sides, but Aaron Leduc picks it up for Massena. Looks to move it out. Intercepted, and now Foster comes up with it to Catanzari, and he'll flip it in the zone. Back in behind the net, it's Gagne with it for Seton. He loses it. Trying to get it back again, but Foster's there. Goes to Levine. Levine circles from behind the net. He's got some room. Here's Levine, centering pass in front. The shot, save made. Rebound in behind the net. Couple of great opportunities, and the Knights are gonna, guess what? Ice the puck, except it's right on, and the icing is waved off. Here comes Massena again, breaking back the other way. It's Leduc from the red line. He dumps it deep in Seton Catholic territory. Massena's gonna make a line change here as the Rupert line comes across the boards to the Massena line. Here comes Seton Catholic. Offsides. Oh, yeah, there's the call. And the forward got trapped in the zone and tried to get out but couldn't, and offsides will be the call. 7:39 left, third period, 2-2 tie hockey game here in Ithaca. Derek Rupert's line out there. Thomas Mankies and Aaron Ramo are the wingers. We've got Nick Toth, Brandon Hall at the points. And it's going to be the Turner line out there for Seton Catholic. Off the face-off. Puck goes just across the blue line. Hall picks it up, gets by the check. Here's Brandon Hall trying to move it across to Rupert. Can he get to it? He flips it in behind the net. Puck ripped around the boards by Dixon, the defenseman, to the Massena line. They come. Now it's stolen away. Here comes Ramo turning it around for Mankies. Mankies takes it in on the off wing, trying to move it through the Rupert. It's knocked away by Dixon. Comes along the glass. Rupert keeps it in to Ramo. Ramo to Rupert. Rupert in the corner for Mankies. Mankies trying to go back to Ramo, but it's stolen away. Puck goes around the puck boards. And the Knights move it out to center ice. Brandon Hall picks it up, bounces it. Intercepted there. Right back come the Knights in the Massena zone. Here's a shot. DeLeo makes the save. The bouncer goes wide, and Ramo picks it up back the other way. Here comes Ramo. Wing. I think he cuts off. Yes, he does. He just dumps it deep as the Whitcup line comes back from Massena. Seton Catholic. Long headman pass. Raiders are going to call off sides, but it's not going to be as the puck comes back out to center ice. Controlled by the Knights. They flip to the Massena line. Brandon Hall trying to come back after it. He can't get to it. Picked up there by the Knights. They just dump it out to center ice as they're in the middle of a line change, and they got caught. Back in the Massena zone. Puck bounces into the corner. DeLeo flips it ahead for Zach Dupree. Dupree trying to clear the zone. He doesn't, and the puck goes bouncing off a stick into the corner. McDonald after it. Puck squirts free. Back to the point. Brandon, his shot. DeLeo makes a save, gives up the big rebound, bounces back to the point. They move it around the horn. Brandon's shot is blocked by McDonald. Puck into the corner, still in the Massena zone. And the check thrown. Whitcup trying to come up with it there. And where is it? It's in behind the net. As Hall is fighting for it as well. He's going to kick it free. And the puck goes along the puck boards to McDonald. He looks to move it ahead to the blue line. Whitcup throws a check. Where's the puck? Out at center ice. Knights with it. They backhand it to the Massena line. Just dump it to an open wing. Aaron Leduc with it. He rips it around the boards. Dupree lost it off his stick. Side of the net. Here's the shot. And DeLille will hold on for the faceoff. Not really much angle to shoot at. Raiders will make a line change with 5:32 left in the third period. A 2-2 tie hockey game. Seton Catholic also making a change. Coming out will be the Jodwin line, I believe. Nope, it's going to be Conroy's line. Conroy, Adams, and Lawless. Foster's line for Massena off the draw. Foster rips it around the boards to Catanzari. Adam gathers it in. Ahead to Foster. Here's dumps it deep. In behind the net. Stop side of the net. And it's Levine in the corner looking for Massena. He flips it to Foster. Foster trying to dig through some traffic. Drops it back to Levine. Here's Chris Levine behind the net. Centering pass in front. Catanzari. Save made by Berger. Puck to the blue line. Leduc whacks at it to Catanzari, but it's knocked away. And Dixon moves it out to center ice. Comes free. Leduc at his own blue line. Ahead to Foster. Foster, Catanzarite busts in on the right side. Here's Catanzarite, makes a move in front, trying to sweep it, but goaltender Berger came out and made the play, and the puck comes down the ice to the Massena line. Brian Hatch is there. Circles. Here's Hatch coming behind his own net. Flips it off the boards to the blue line. Foster, and he overskates. Puck still in the Massena zone. Dumped in behind the net. Leduc after it. 2-2 tie hockey game. Leduc gets tied up. The puck comes free in front, but Hatch is there to move to Catanzarite. Catanzarite flips it. Foster from the red line. Right back to Seton Catholic. They'll dump to the open wing into the Massena zone. Leduc with it. Off the glass. Out to center ice. Trickles by Brannon back in Seton Catholic zone. 4:10 and counting. 2-2 tie hockey game on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Headman pass to the neutral zone. Hall flipping it ahead for Tubolino. Nick overskates the puck. Taken away. Now Robbie Whitcup comes up with it. Circles at the red line. Whitcup goes by a check. Flips it deep. In the zone it goes. In behind the net. After Tubolino. Nick centering pass. Nobody there. And Seton breaks out. Here come the Knights. Headman pass down in the Massena zone. Nick Toth after it there for the Raiders. He gets knocked off the puck. Hard check thrown there by Whitcup, though. Puck back to the blue line. Dixon with it. He flips it over on the other side. Here's a shot through traffic. Save made by DeLille. Puck goes in the corner. Picked up by the Raiders, Whitcup. He skates by the check. Here comes Whitcup. He's got Tubolino. Hits him with a stick. Here comes Tubolino. Skates it in the zone. Dropping it back for Whitcup, but he couldn't quite get to it. Puck cleared around the boards to the blue line. Did Rupert keep it in? Apparently did not. Although how would that official know? He was way out of position. But offsides will be the call. And the faceoff will move outside the zone. 3:15 remaining in the period. 2-2 tie hockey game on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Off the draw. Puck to the blue line. Into the zone it goes. Back out to center ice. After it is Aaron Leduc at his own blue line. Leduc long headman pass. Tubolino, Mankies lets it go by, but he touched it apparently. Puck deep in the zone. Here's Ramo with it. He can't control it. Back come the Knights. Out to center ice. Trickles to the Massena line. Aaron Leduc with it there. Here's Leduc to Hatch. Hatch turns it around. Looks up ice. Mankies to Ramo. Ramo's got Rupert busting. Here's Ramo trying to center. It's blocked by the defenseman. Oh, and that defenseman goes hard into the boards. We have a whistle. And I guess because of I don't know why they blew the whistle, but perhaps because the player was down, as Matt Jodwin went heavily into the boards, but got right back up again, but they blew the whistle. And Massena's asking, why'd you blow the whistle?
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
So the face-off will come inside Seton Catholic territory with 2:37 left in the third period, a 2-2 tie hockey game. Derek Rupert off the face-off. The puck goes in behind the net. After it, there's Brannon. He'll flip it to an open wing. Round the boards it goes and out to center ice. Rupert back after it. Derek picks it up, turns it around, looks up ice, but it's intercepted. Dump back in the Massena zone. Delay offsides, and they'll call the offsides on Seton Catholic. And they'll call an intentional offsides on Seton Catholic and move it all the way down the ice.
Raiders, let's go! Get one!
2:20 left in the third period. Foster out with Levine and Catanzarite. This has been Massena's most effective line out there. And they've been able to out-muscle Seton Catholic. It's going to be Conroy's line for the Knights. Face-off right side. 2-2 tie game. Off the draw. Foster wins it back to the point. Hall dumps it to Foster, side of the net. Skates in front. Here's the shot. It doesn't get through. And the Knights move it back to the blue line and out to center ice. Here's a shot from center. Save made DeLille. He lost it and gets it back again as Toth came in to help out. And he kind of just tipped it back into DeLille's pad, and he makes the save. Face-off will be back in the Massena zone with 2:03 left in the third period. I don't know if they play overtime or not, but that's beginning to be a factor.
Go, Red! Come on! Let's go!
Foster's line stays out there. Coming back out will be the Turner line for Seton Catholic. Reardon's going to take the face-off against Foster.
Go,
Off the draw. Puck goes in behind the net. Reardon after it there. He skates by the check. His pass knocked down. Foster lost his edge, but somehow came up with the puck. Now Toth and Reardon both go down. The puck comes bouncing free side of the net. Here's the chance in front, and he just couldn't get the shot off. That was Saskavich. Raiders. Here comes Katanza on the wing side. He's checked out of the play. The puck goes in behind the net. Whips around the boards, takes a funny bounce out to the blue line. And here comes Seton. They're going to have a 2-on-1. And it's just swept away nicely by Aaron Leduc. Puck takes a funny bounce again all the way back to the point. Katanza dumps it out to center ice. Here comes Levine with it. He's got Foster. Levine takes it in wide, left side behind the net. He's ridden off the play and knocked down. The puck bounces free. Just over a minute left. Kept in at the point. Leduc, his shot right on. Trickles just wide of the net. But they're going to rule that the Massena player in front of the net had controlled it with a high stick anyway. And move the faceoff back inside the Massena zone.
Come on, Raiders! Go, Massena!
1:06 remaining in the third period. Now Coach Mike Trimbley is yelling at the officials. And now they're explaining again. Face-off will be back in the Massena zone. The officials can argue all, or the coaches can argue all they want, but they're not going to change the call. Now all the Massena captains are over there talking to the officials. We're down to 1:06 left in the third period, a 2-2 tie hockey game. And now the official is coming over. The other official. And they're not going to win that battle. So the face-off will be in the Massena zone. Jodwin will face off against Robbie Whitcup. Off the draw. Puck sits in the circle. Back toward the blue line. Kept in at the point. Into the corner it goes. Hatch trying to come up with it. He can't. Flipped around on the other side by the Knights. Tubolino throws a check. The puck comes back to the blue line. Here's a shot right on. Big save by DeLille. Big save on the misdirected shot. Puck to the blue line, not out of the zone. Devin Paquin does move it ahead to the blue line. Whitcup can't find it. Takes it back in the zone. DeLille comes diving out and makes the save and holds on for the faceoff. We're down to 36 seconds left in the third period. Still a 2-2 tie hockey game on the Tommy Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Coming out will be Foster's line again. Foster with Levine. Now wait a minute. Who do we have out there? Yep, Foster, Katanza and Levine. And it's going to be Reardon off the draw, puck in behind the net. Nick Toth picks it up, looks on the wing for Levine. He can't quite come up with it. Bounces in front. Here's the shot knocked off a leg into the corner. Around behind the net for Brian Hatch. Hatch turns around the other way. Moves it to Katanza on the wing. Back to Hatch. Hatch finally moves it ahead. Trying to go to Chris Levine too far. Trickles back in the Seton zone. Brandon flips it. Goes to Foster. Foster trying to center it back the other way with 9 seconds left. Here comes Seton Catholic into the Massena zone. Bounces free. 2 seconds left. Here's a shot at the buzzer. Save made as Katanza got the shot line right back out to the neutral zone. And it's dumped deep in Massena territory. Brandon Hall after it. Has it poked away. Bounces in behind the net. Where is it? Seton trying to control it. Now Whitcup throws a check. The puck comes free to Hall. Hall moves it along the boards. Not out of the zone, though. Kept in at the point. Here's a shot from Dixon. That goes wide. Back to the other point. Luckin. Luckin has it knocked away. And out to center ice. One-on-one with Dixon. Whitcup busts in. Can't get that shot off. It trickles into the corner. As Dixon had him pretty well tied up. Tubolino throws a check. The puck comes free. It's a battle for. Whitcup takes it out. Here's Whitcup from behind the net. Circles. He's got Paquin with him. Flips it to Paquin in the circle. Devin Looks, circles again. And now the official gets in the way again. As they battle for it in the corner. Whitcup takes it out of the corner. Centering pass right across the goal mouth. Tubolino couldn't come up with it. And the Knights try to clear it. Now it's kept in there by Tubolino with a glove, but Seton touches it as the puck bounces in off the defenseman right on net. And Berger has to make first save on his own guy. Tubolino stays in there. Centers it. Side of the net. Here comes Devin Paquin. Short side shot. Where is it? It's still behind. Whitcup picks it up. Takes it out of the fray. Centering pass in front. Tubolino can't get a stick on it. Puck in the corner. Devin Paquin after it. Cleared away from him. Whitcup can't come up with it. And it's going to be iced by the Knights. Raiders all over Seton Catholic in the first portion of this overtime. And some great opportunities, but just couldn't get it in the net. Now it's going to be the Foster line. Foster, Catanzarite, and Levine. I'll tell you what, if there's a line that's going to win this game, I think it's going to be this line because they've had a good game.
Let's go, Raiders! Come on!
Hatch and Leduc coming out to play the points. And it's going to be Jodwin's line for Seton Catholic. 3:29 left in the overtime. Off the faceoff, puck in the circle. Here's Levine's shot. Ooh, bounces just wide off a leg. Puck in the corner. Clear to the blue line. Hatch keeps it in. Flips it back in the corner again. Picked up by Brannon. Moves it to the blue line. Into the circle, they dump it out to center ice, where Aaron Leduc turns it around and dumps it deep. Seton Catholic zone. Picked up there, out to the neutral zone, Leduc again. Flips it to Catanzarite, who backhands it. Back in Seton territory, 3 minutes left in the overtime. Knights flip it around the boards. Kept in by Levine. Levine circles, takes it in front, trying to barge his way through, but it's knocked away, and it's out to center ice again. Puck rolls on end in the Massena zone. There's not going to be an icing call as Hatch gets back. There's Hatch with it. Ooh, gets away from the checker. Gets it back again. Actually, he's trying to pass to Catanzarite. Now goes to Levine, and he dumps it. The Raiders are going to make changes. Puck goes side of the net. Picked up by the Knights. They move it ahead on the wing. Here comes Seton Catholic out. Whitcup steals it. Has it knocked away into the Massena zone. Where is it? Hall with it. Trying to clear the zone. And it's out to center ice. Here comes Brandon Hall with it. Hall has it poked away, tries to stay with it. Now Whitcup, knocked away from him. It'll go to Nick Toth. Here's Toth from the red line. He's going to take it across. Here's Toth trying to barge his way through, but it's knocked off the stick. 2 minutes left in the sudden death overtime. Here comes Seton Catholic. Hall is back to flip it ahead to the neutral zone. Tubolino throws a check. Where's the puck? Bounces free. Comes to the Seton line. They dump it off the leg into the Massena zone. Hall back after it. Still 2-2. Overtime. Here's Brandon Hall. Nice headman pass. Evan Paquin looking for Tubolino, breaking, gets it back again off a leg. Poke checked away. Bouncing around to the Massena line. Toth. He'll flip it to Hall. Minute and a half left in overtime. Here's Hall trying to feed Whitcup. Knocked away and dumped down the ice. That'll be icing against Seton Catholic. 1:26 remaining in overtime. 2-2 tie hockey game. I think they'll probably only play one overtime. That'd be my guess, but we'll see. Okay, we've got Rupert's line out there. Rupert Ramo and Thomas Mankies. Leduc and Hatch stay out on the points. It's going to be the Turner line for Seton Catholic. Off the face-off, puck comes back to the blue line, kept in. Hatch's shot goes into the corner. After it is Rupert. Rupert trying to flip it behind the net. Bounces high to Hatch, he can't keep it in the zone. Flips free into the Massena zone. Hatch is back, trying to move it along. Now it's Ramo. Ramo trickles it ahead, Thomas Mankies. Here's Mankies back the other way, cuts across, and offsides will be the call. As he faked Derek Rupert out, he was cutting across the grain and then waited to enter the zone. And we're down to 1:05 left in OT. 2-2 tie hockey game here on the Tom Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Rupert will face off against Turner. Off the draw. Puck in the Seton zone. Picked up by Dixon. Dixon will drop it on the other side. They move it down the sideline. Cross ice pass to Saskavich. He hit the official with his clearing pass. Raider tried to go the other way. Here comes Ramo, busting in, takes it by. Ramo, Scott Mankies backhander. The whistle blows, and they called a man in the crease. Yeah, that was a good call. That was definitely a good call. That was a good call. Massena gets called for a man in the crease. Was the right call.
Okay, come on, you guys. Come on. Get plenty of time.
25 seconds left in OT. Whitcup comes out with Catanzarite and Foster. So Coach Latham pulling out the stops here, try to get something going. Whitcup trying to barge his way through. He does. Here's Whitcup busting in front. Shot. Scores! Robbie Whitcup! And the Raiders win it in overtime. "34 seconds left in overtime. Robbie Whitcup barging down the right wing side. And the Raiders win it 3-2 in OT. And a big win for the Massena Red Raiders as they win the consolation of the Ithaca Tournament, 3-2 over Seton Catholic. Stay tuned. The post-game show is next on WMSA.